Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. So today we're going to be talking about whether you should skip or summon for 5.7. The banners are going to be dropping very soon. We've had Escoffier, we've had, Raiden Shogun, and we're about to say goodbye to Kanich as well. But the point is, I have every character on the upcoming banners, and I'm going to give you my perspective on whether you should skip or summon for them or not. Obviously, I don't have Skirk because she's not available right now. But all the other characters I do, and I actually have their signature weapons other than Emily's because, I got unlucky and got another Aqua Simulacra. But you know what? It's Gacha, what can I say? Things happen. Now, starting off with Skirk. Boom. Cryo main DPS. She's going to primarily focus on normal or charge attacks, depending on the artifacts that you use. People would argue, and there's a debate, Marashoshe Hunter or Finale Deep. Now, if you want to focus on a normal and charge attack playstyle, Marashoshe Hunter. If you have a Furina. If you do not have a Furina, and you want to focus on the burst playstyle, Finale of the Deep. I'm making it very clear, those are the clear ways on how you play around Skirk, because she obviously has her artifact set tailored towards burst playstyle. If you do not need the artifact set that's niche towards the burst playstyle, you can use Marashoshe Hunter. It is debatable. It is debatable. If you do not have Furina, you can use other 5-star characters. You can use Yelan. You can use Mona. You actually can use Mulani if you have the Cinder City artifact set. For some bloody reason, it works. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure someone in the comment section will give me some information or give you a TLDR of why it works. But nevertheless, Skirk is definitely worth a summon if you love the character. In my personal opinion, she is definitely worth a summon if you have the Primo Gems. She isn't going to be doing the insane damage that you expect her to do if you do not have Escoffier. I'm giving you the hard reality check. I'm being honest with you rather than just following all these other clickbait videos. I'm just telling you the truth. Her personal damage is not going to be insane compared to having her normal damage with Escoffier. It's not going to be insane, but it's definitely not going to be bad. It's going to be pretty good, but it's not going to be insane. I must make that very clear. Now, when it comes to her benefits to the team, obviously gives an increase in the elemental skill, and of course is going to help you a lot with freeze teams. If you want to go ahead and have her with a Noviolette, you can do so. It's amazing how you can have a freeze team and you can have a dual carry of Noviolette, Furina, or Escoffier with Skirk. Pretty amazing in my opinion. I think that's wonderful. If you want that premium team and you love Noviolette, go for it. Go for it. But yes, if you don't have the resources, you don't have the characters, you cannot be asked to summon for Skirk. 99% of the community will probably summon for Skirk. If you don't like her, you don't like her. If you do, you do. Now, when it comes to the reality of Shenhe, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I have owned Shenhe since she first released. I don't like the character personally. And why is the reason I don't like the character? Well, it is simply because the character is quite dog shit to play around. When I mean by dog shit, I mean you focus on getting her burst up, you need a lot of energy. You need to focus on getting her stacks. She has finite stacks. She doesn't have infinite stacks. Beg your pardon, I belched. When you have her stacks, they change based on the fact if you tap or hold. Now, keep in mind, the tap or hold for Shenhe actually changes where the stacks are focused on. Either normal and charge attacks, or focused on elemental skill and elemental burst. You need to keep in mind, you don't know which one you want to do if you don't know which playstyle you're going for on Skirk. Now, keep in mind the fact that her energy requirements are really, really annoying to hit if you want to have that attack percent threshold. I'm being completely honest with you. If you have her signature weapon, you're going to struggle getting her ER and making sure you have the right artifact sets that give you the attack percent. I've struggled. I gave up. You know what it is. I've accepted the reality. I'm not going to achieve it, so I moved on. Found a different character I want to build instead. Okay. I'm under the assumption if you already wanted Shenhe, you would have got her in the Chronicle Wish. Because obviously she came out during the Chronicle Wish. But nevertheless, you can put Favonius on her. You can use her in some teams, but if you really, really want Shenhe, if you really want to get her skin, Go for it. I'm not stopping you, but she's not worth the investment whatsoever. She just isn't worth the. She's not worth the pool. She's not worth the pool, guys. Unless you have a C6, which 9 times out of 10, most people will not have the C6 because the C6 makes Shenhe extremely useful because her stacks don't disappear. Now, moving on to the weapon banner for the first half. Skirk or Shenhe. As I just said, made it very clear, Shenhe's weapon isn't that great. It isn't. You're going to struggle getting energy recharge for her burst. It might help you with stacks, but nevertheless, you're going to struggle. You really are going to struggle. I personally think that her weapon is not that great. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's great. Skirk's weapon, on the other hand, is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. You can use other 5-star alternatives that are really good on her. You can. And that is genuinely awesome because you aren't FOMO to getting her weapon. Unlike Arlecchino, you can use stuff of FOMO on Arlecchino, but obviously majority of the players understood. Oh my god, the drip! I don't want to have a gold outline. It looks so bad. Well, realistically, with Skirk, you don't have that gold outline, don't worry. But you will have your sword merging with your other lance and making it a spear. Depending on how you want to play Skirk. If you're going to play her normal and charge attacks, boom, you can use a different weapon. Preferably the best weapon that you would use if you want to use a normal attack playstyle is going to be the Haran. Obviously, we had the Haran in the Inazuma Chronicle banner, but if you want to use Misplits, if you want to use Jade Cutter, if you want to use other characters' weapons, go for it. Not stopping you, but you will see a damage difference if you have her signature or not. If you want a drip, you want to look sexy, if you want to look insane, if you want to look badass, go for it. I'm not stopping you. But I personally wouldn't recommend it because obviously, fate points, it can be annoying, and you can get Shenhe's weapon and you'd be like, bruh, I don't even have Shenhe. Why the hell do I have a weapon? What the hell, bruh? What the hell, bruh? You know, you can get annoyed with that. I definitely can, but, you know, it's up to you. Now, with the 4 stars, I must say, I don't even know what the banners are. But I can say that it's not necessarily going to be the best 4-star weapon banner because sometimes they make it where you get an insane weapon banner, but the 4 stars are trash. So yeah, at the time of recording this video, well, I was saying that the 4 stars might be trash. Well, annoyingly, they went ahead and dropped some 4-star weapons that people actually give a damn about. Wandering Everstar. Oh my god, Zepho's Blade. Weapons that we actually care about. Crazy. Crazy how the weapon banner that we might not want to summon on is actually the weapon banner that has 4 stars that we care about. And look at what we have here. A Favonius polearm. Favonius lance for your Shenhe. So, as you can see, if you cannot get the weapon that you're after, you can get alternatives. And you can also get weapons for characters that you already have pre-existing. Wandering Everstar can be used on Sitlali. Zepho's Blade can be used on Cookie. Can be used on Kazuha. Can be used on a lot of characters. They know what they're doing. It's quite crazy that they've done this, but you know what? It's Hoyoverse. They do what they can to make money. Ay. Anyways, back to the video. Anyways, moving on to Mavuika. Mavuika, without any controversy, is undoubtedly one of the most summoned characters in all of Genshin Impact. However, she was actually rivaled with her #1 support. A lot of people actually skipped out Mavuika for Sitlali simply because of the fact that Arlecchino was rerunning in the second half and they were, you know, simping for Arlecchino and wanted to have that insane melt damage or wanted to use her with a freeze team, for example. Mavuika is so good. Okay, 1, she's #1 DPS. If you want a hyper carry, boom, you've got your pyro hyper carry. You do not need to worry, okay? #2, she can be used on a support artifact set and still perform extremely well. #3, she is a jangling alternative, undoubtedly and arguably very useful for pyro off-field if you don't want to have consistent vapes from the wrong character. Sometimes you want to forward vape on a Mulani, and sometimes you might have a jangling who might end up taking the hydro, or might, I mean, Zhangli might just steal the vape and you're like, bro, my rotation's messed up now. Mavuika, she doesn't cause that problem. She doesn't. She really doesn't. One thing is Mavuika as well, when you use her passives Obviously, when you use her ultimate, you fire it off. You do that massive damage. You go ahead. You have this fiery passion. Well, massive fiery passion thing is Verisa because she's on the screen. You have the blaze. I can't remember what it's called. The blaze. Okay. The fighting passion, whatever you call it. Basically, the stacks for Mavuika. Okay. You have that. It's given to Natlan characters. It's amazing for Natlan characters. Natlan characters who benefit from Mavuika. Chaska, Kanich, Mulani, Verisa, all the above, they all benefit from Mavuika. Undoubtedly, Kanich is important. It's beneficial to Kanich and Mulani and Verisa a lot. Not so much Chaska, but Kanich, unfortunately, best in slot for him. Best in slot. You can use Zhangling, but you're going to notice that your reactions are going to go away quickly. And it's just ER problems with Zhangling. With Mavuika, you're not going to have that problem whatsoever. I think it's a little greedy how they made Mavuika and Emily in the same banner, knowing that Kanich was literally just rerun prior. It sucks if you're a Kanich main. You already got Kanich and you already got Mavuika. You're chilling. You just need an Emily. Awesome. Now, with Emily, I personally believe she's worth a summon if you want to have a burning team. If you don't want to use her for just burning, if you want to use her for maybe a virgin team, if you want to use her for a burning overload team, you can do that. You can. Overburn, it works. Overvape, it works. You can use her. You can. She's a wonderful character. She's not trash. Trust me. Her weapon's not trash. Trust me. Even though I don't own it, I know it's not trash. I lost and got Aqua. So just trust me. Okay, you get the idea. She's really good, not necessarily just for the off-field application of Dendro, but also for the fact that she actually benefits for burning. She gives you a passive where you don't take as much damage. You don't burn yourself. The amount of times that characters or people or teams that required Nihida because we didn't have a burning support kept dying to burning is insane. So if you want to use burning, you want to use some of the burning reactions, or you want to use overburn or whatever, and you don't want to die, Emily is the way. Emily is the way. Amazing. Lovely. She does provide a lot of elemental application with her ultimate and with her elemental skill. So that is lovely. So you don't have to worry about trying to constantly reapply. Just know the rotations, have the good stats, and obviously know what is good on her and what isn't. You don't necessarily need to use her signature artifact sets. You can use the Deepwood, you can use a lot of other artifact sets, but you will notice a damage drop off occasionally when it comes to doing certain things on Emily. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to just fully understand that Mavuika's weapon isn't a must-have, but if you want to see the insane damage of the Power Archon, then yes, you can use other weapons, but again, you will notice a damage drop off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with everything being said, I hope you guys feel informed. You know who to skip or summon on. My final verdict, Shenhe, not worth the summon. Mavuika, definitely worth the summon. Emily, worth the summon if you need the character. Skirk, worth the summon if you don't necessarily need the character, if you don't necessarily have the support. You can use alternatives, just accept the reality you're not going to do the damage. Or if you genuinely love the character, go for it. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's worth getting her if you don't have the right characters and you want to focus on more of a strong meta team, because obviously she's not going to do the damage you want her to do. And she's very expensive. Very premium, very expensive, very restrictive. Making that clear. Alright, it's been your boy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do consider dropping a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, notifications on public, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.